The objective of this lesson is to explain what the inequality symbols represent and determine values that make an equation or inequality true. Students have discussed inequalities since kindergarten, with recognizing when a particular value is greater than or less than another value. In first grade, they are introduced to the symbols less than and greater than. The new symbols and inequalities for today's lesson are greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and not equal. Let's organize a group of numbers in a Venn diagram. The purple only part of the circle represents the values less than 7. The green only part of the circle represents the values that are greater than 7. The center part that overlaps both circles represents the values equal to 7. The numbers to place are 8 and 1/2, 13, 2 and 6/10, 14 halves, 7 and 0/10, 18, 5 and 9/10. Let's start with the 8 and 1/2. This number is greater than 7 and would be placed in the far right green part of the Venn diagram. As an inequality, it would be written as 8 and 1/2 is greater than 7. The next value is 13. 13 is more than 7, so it can be said that 13 is greater than 7 and will be placed in the far right green circle. 2 and 6/10 is smaller than 7. As an inequality, it would be written as 2 and 6/10 is less than 7. It will be placed in the far left purple portion of the Venn diagram. 14 halves is the same as 14 divided by 2, which is 7. 14 halves is equal to 7. It will be placed in the center overlap section. 7 and 0/10 is also equal to 7 and will be placed in the center part as well. 18 is greater than 7 and will be placed in the far right green part. And 5 and 9/10 is less than 7 and will be placed in the far left purple portion. If the far left purple only section represents the values less than 7, the middle overlap portion is equal to 7, and the far right green section is greater than 7, then what does the whole purple circle represent? The entire purple section has values that are equal to 7 or less than 7. This is represented by the equal to or less than symbol. This includes all values that are 7 and smaller. For example, 2 and 6/10 is equal to or less than 7, and 14 halves is equal to or less than 7. The entire green circle holds all the values that are equal to or greater than 7. This is represented by the equal to or greater than symbol. This includes all values that are 7 and larger. For example, 13 is equal to or greater than 7, and 7 and 0/10 is equal to or greater than 7. The variables in inequalities represent a range of values that could make the inequality true. Let's name some values for some variables that would make the inequalities true. X equal to or less than 18. This means that 18 and any value smaller than 18 can be used. Let's use 3 for x. 3 is less than 18, so 3 is less than or equal to 18. This is true. Let's use -20 for x. -20 is less than 18, so it is less than or equal to 18. This is true. Let's use 18 for x. 18 is equal to 18, so it is less than or equal to 18. This is true. Let's name some values for some variables in another inequality. X is greater than 18. Let's use 24 for x. 24 is greater than 18. Let's use 19 and 3/10 for x. 19 and 3/10 is greater than 18. 18 cannot be used as a value for x because the inequality is asking for numbers greater than 18. Let's substitute one more set of values for another inequality. X is not equal to 18. This means that any value that is not 18 can be used. 3 is not 18, and 500 is not 18. Now let's write an inequality to represent a real-world situation. Mrs. Sims' class must raise at least $100 to go on a field trip. Write an inequality to represent the amount of money, M, the class needs to raise. The amount of money needs to be at least $100. which means it can be equal to $100 or it can be greater than $100, but it cannot be less. The inequality to represent this situation is M is equal to or greater than $100. The objective for this lesson was to explain what the inequality symbols represent and determine values that make an equation or inequality true. We met this objective by using a Venn diagram to visually organize values into greater than, equal to, less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to then a number. We also wrote an inequality to represent a real-world problem.